Hey guys, thanks for joining us. Give me just a second. I'll have the camera on and ready for y'all. Of course, started out late, like always, but we will be ready in just a second. Hope everybody's doing good. We have had internet problems this weekend, and so I'm sorry if you saw our community post, and I thought I was going to be able to go live yesterday, but that, of course, didn't work out. And so we're shooting for today. And it happened. Now, I know there's some other people that got a live plan for a little bit. I think it's at 7, so we're not going to run too far into them because I want to be fair to everybody if they've already had one scheduled and everything. But give me just a second. Got to put this battery in this camera.
We are not prepared.
Boy, very unprepared. You want to say anything while I fix this?
Hi, guys. Don't really know what else to say right now.
All right, give me the tripod to the camera.
Right there.
And I need this little thing. Oh no, there it is.
We doing this?
Yeah, I'll plug it up as soon as I get the camera hooked up. The joys of running late.
Well, we kind of put it together on the spur of the moment because we were going to wait and go live a little later.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Oh, Lordy. Here, let me plug this up and we're ready to go. We got this one.
it's hot.
Hot.
Yeah, I'm hot.
Okay, here, move this light here on that side. And then we'll move this here. All right, good. Good to go.
Well, not really, but kind of.
We're getting there. It's good.
We're getting there.
There's that new. Here we go. Now give me the light to the.
We're getting there. Sorry, guys.
That should be everything, right?
Should be.
Turn this on.
Woo.
All right, so I got a ring light here, and we're going to see if this works. Was that going in and out, babe?
I don't know.
Like the camera, is the power going in and out? All right, turn this camera on. We're going.
Maybe.
There it is. Is it not working?
Nope.
Dang almighty. This is our luck right now. That should be the EOS webcam. It should be working. Dang it, man. All right, guys, give me just a second. We'll just use this front-facing camera. I do not understand why that's not working.
Maybe.
Oh, it's because I had that off.
Well.
All right, now let me fix it. How y'all doing? Thank you so much for bearing with us. We are always doing the spur of the moment.
Spur
Of the moment. I can't even talk. I'm nervous. So I'll explain to you why. There we go. There's that. And let's see here. Golly. See, it was working. And I don't know why that stopped.
I'm so confused.
Now, Well, that's not going to work, so we're going to have to just do it from the other way. Anyway, sorry guys. This is the pains that we go through. Bingo, there's that.
Okay.
All right, good. We're just going to roll with that right now. Okay, anyway, thanks for joining us tonight. Thank y'all for being here.
That's very unflattering.
Well, it's very unflattering.
This camera angle.
No.
I don't like it.
No, it looks good. You're fine. Anyway, so I've been going over the information that we were going to go over that I had with about Sherfy Senior, and I've got too many questions to really go with that conclusively. So we can maybe bring it out as a question, and that's about as far as I want to go with it. So what I guess basically what we've got so far is, from his Facebook before he made it private, there was information that he had checked into the hospital for a post operation surgery,
Post-op appointment.
Post-op appointment, right? So Don Wells, Queenie Jane Queen, yeah. So that's why. So he was on the 14th of June 14th. We had information that he himself put on Facebook of him checking into. Was at a hospital for an appointment to be released, I guess, to go back to work or post-op, whatever. People are asking you if you are okay. You look really tired.
Oh, I'm always tired.
So I didn't want to go conclusively on that, so I just want to put it out as a question. I had that information. He said he was in Maryland on the 15th, and I, as part of his job, I'm trying to dig a little bit deeper before I bring that out as conclusive or anything. I just wanted to bring it out as a question. Help me here.
Well, there's too much that I don't feel comfortable saying, okay, well, this is the way that this happened, and we just need to do some more digging before we really.
Yeah, and as I started going through it and looking at it more, and she being a nurse, her being a nurse and working in a hospital, she was able to say, well, what about this? What about that? Doctors don't necessarily have to wait 4 to 6 weeks to release you, depending on their care, right?
Yeah.
The way that they deal with their care, that patient's care. So, that's under HIPAA too. Everything that he has,
Right.
as far as a doctor. But no, I did the alibi. I did think that it was. I mean, there was I had questions about it. So when I was brought this information, I thought there might be something there, and there still could be. I'm not saying that there's not, but I still want to be able to check off a bunch of questions that we had. Yeah, this case is crazy. I mean, we've got everything happen the way that it has, and it's more questions than answers for sure.
My YouTube app keeps closing.
I know everything ain't working right. I don't understand what's going on with the camera and everything.
I'm so confused.
It's okay. We'll roll with it. So I did want to see if I was going to have a guest on tonight, see if she wanted to pop up with her camera off. I sent her a link, and if she wants to, hopefully she'll come up here. Just wanted to discuss a few things, and just we just talk about the case. So actually what I'm going to do is I want to pull up.
Another reason I probably look tired is because I don't have makeup on. I just have mascara on.
It's okay. You don't have to have.
No. You can see all my dark circles.
No, you're pretty. Everything's okay. So basically, we've been off the whole weekend, or we had the internet problems. I don't know really what's been going on YouTube as much as probably you guys do, but look, killer looks. It's flipping off poo. I know. So what were we talking about? We felt like it was important. So there's also with Sherfy, there's information that I'm trying to put together too. And look, I'm not saying the man did anything. I'm not saying the junior did anything. But we found out that that he himself said his son had not been questioned. So that made me look deeper. And I feel like there's a lot of people connected to each other in that community that it doesn't make sense. Things with people that all have certain SO crimes, or there's a connection to them. There's if you follow this case, there was a Sullivan County officer that was fired in 2010. Also, his name was Haas, Haas. If you're not familiar with that, please look him up. Was his first name David? I just always say his last name, so I forget his first name. But there's Haas. He was fired for having images of minors. I'm trying to say that's the word. How do I say it? You get what I'm saying. Bad pictures of minors. And he has links to Beach Creek through being on a certain neighbor's computer, parents' computer, and the internet. Well, then you have. Go in there and answer that real quick. So we have that. Then we also have, Sherfy Sr. worked at Sullivan County as well as a reserve deputy. I can't help but to think that those two probably know each other from working there in the time periods that David. Here, I'll find his name real quick and I'll make sure that Haas's first name is correct. I do not know why my camera is not working. That is insane. Okay, I'll tell you his name correctly right now in 1 second.
No, it's okay. I'll call you when we get off. Okay. All right.
Okay, here we go. Let me search his name. Should be right here. I'm trying to find Haas's name so I can put this out correctly. Oh, here it is. I found it right here. Randy Haas.
Or Haas.
Haas. Yes, correct. And there is a news article on him. Look into that. And he had ties to Beach Creek. What is it? And a certain creator said what? Here, I want to make sure what's going on in the chat. Can you help me with that?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Okay. So this article right here is the one you'll look for with that face right there. So it's on Times News, and I'll put the link in the chat. This is what he got fired for. He has links to Beach Creek, right? He got fired for Sullivan County Sheriff's Office in. I'll read it for you. So it says Randy Haas, a 16-year veteran of the department and shift sergeant in corrections, was terminated last Wednesday. Personal records state a criminal and internal investigation against him were launched the previous day. According to a police report filed April 26, Haas is accused of taking pictures of underage children with the photographs categorized as patently offensive. The report, which lists the incident locations as Cave Hill Road in Blountville, was forwarded to the Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Division. On Tuesday, Sullivan County District Attorney Greeley Wells acknowledged he is familiar with the situation. He is awaiting the conclusion of the Sheriff's Office probe and has not requested assistance from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Did you hear that? I never picked up that part. Any evidence against Haas will be reviewed by Wells, then presented to a grand jury for consideration of criminal charges. A memo and personal records state Chief Deputy Lisa Christian ordered an internal investigation immediately. Anyway, so that's who this guy right here has ties to Ben Hill Road and being on a neighbor's parents' computer. And if you followed that, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay. So then you have Sherfy Sr. working in Sullivan County. Well, then I find out information that, and I'm trying to verify this, that Frank Light and Sherfy Sr. are very good friends. Very connected, very tight. So I don't know. That's what I just wanted to make sure that I keep y'all on the right page of what I'm trying to do. Okay? This is good stuff. This is stuff that I feel like needs to be answered. If there's nothing there, there's nothing there. But then again, through this, we could find something else that might be is equally as nefarious. So Frank Light is who I said, Neva. That's who. So correct. Okay. Yeah. Kennard Knight Rider. That's fair. Yeah, right here. Did you read that?
Yes.
That's yes. And then there's been saying that he used wasn't it Andy's parents' computer? So I don't know. So there's that. All right, now and look, guys, I am going to be bouncing around on this one because I wasn't prepared. Everybody's saying wait for questions and keep Cam on track. It's bad. I understand. Yeah, right here. See, I didn't even know that yet. One of Sherfy Sr.'s wives, Sherfy Sr. wife, aunt, is married to the Lights. They're all connected.
I'm about to turn that off.
Why?
Because
it's too bright.
Mm-hmm.
Here,
change this camera.
Just change this. Watch. This might fix it. A little bit different.
Whoa.
Sorry. Let's do this shuffle right here. That's one?
A little bit better.
You like that one a little better, not bright?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think washing us out.
It was. Okay. So we have that. Well, I want to read what people smelling a little cornbread mafia. Nah, look. I never could get behind that I knew that the cornbread mafia because they introduced that.
Yeah.
The behavior panel introduced the cornbread mafia to Don and then to Candace. That's not something that was even spoke about. So that's why I couldn't ever get behind that. Yeah, see, people say they can hear me wheezing between breaths. That's how bad it's gotten. My lungs are terrible. Let me text our person I wanted to have come up and see if they want to come up, and we'll just talk about the case and there's some other things that are important. We'll break it all down. We're going to talk about, and these are people with difference of opinion, and this is why I want this to happen. We gotta have difference of opinion so that we can look into everything. Okay?
Yeah.
I feel like it's important. Let's ask her. She might be in here and she might not be. I don't know what's going on. She's had her kids, taking care of her kids, so maybe not, but it's okay. What else have we been talking about that might be a good point to bring up? Because I told her we're not going to stay on here very long because of somebody else that wanted to go live. But I wanted to bring this out, and I was trying to put clips together, or all of our stuff together with it. Oh my gosh! Did you see that?
Yeah.
Never mind. So we're not going to have a guest tonight.
She'll come on another.
She'll be on another day, and we can't wait to have her. But
we're excited for that.
We've had some good dialogue with them, and they are okay. So Haas right here is that's. Let me just pull that clip. That'll be good to go over. And we didn't introduce this person into the narrative. This was brought in by somebody who is a neighbor. Jody Sue brought him in. And I mean, this is truth. We got, so when his name was brought up, I'm like, so why was he important enough to talk about? So that's why I try to put two and two together. And Sherfy Sr. had been talked a lot about in this case before anybody even knew really a lot about him. His name kept being brought up. And I would hear it and I was like, okay, well then when everything happened, when he came down on Molly and all them, Molly Golightly, and then when they were here, it really started putting red flags up for me. I don't think. Yes, I feel like Jody Sue is trustworthy with that. Why would she talk about that person? He was brought up for a reason. We looked. I have to look into it. She said she still might come on, but just to give her a second. Okay. Let me bring up this clip real quick, or not clip, but this article. Let me find him. Times News. Look, I can't even find that now. Let's do this. This will be easier, probably.
Right there.
What?
Stop running.
No, I already did. That's what I was trying to say. Let's see, Sullivan. There it is. It popped up.
Right there's one.
No, so it says on November 15th, 2011, Sullivan County Grand Jury filed 42-count presentment against the appellant, Randy Carl Haas, on 27 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, more than 50 images, 5 counts of especially aggravated exploitation of a minor, and 10 counts of official misconduct. So, this right here, all right, that's almost the same charges. You know what I'm saying? The exact same as Sherfy
Right.
Jr. And this, I mean, if that doesn't raise an eyebrow, all the stuff that's going around, happening in Beach Creek, Ben Hill, Sullivan County, Hawkins County. I mean, if you look at the SO count in those counties, it's outrageous. Is it? I don't know. I mean,
it's scary.
It's scary. I mean, there's a big problem. That's what. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up right now, and you'll see it. People are asking, "What name is that?" Well, right here, I've got it for you, and you can see it yourself. These are the things that I'm trying to say when people are saying, "Well, you're not looking into just the parents. You're not looking into this." Well, if somebody isn't looking into all the other craziness that's happening,
yeah, there has to be somebody that looks into everything else.
There has to be, and because this stuff.
There's plenty of people that are looking into Dawn and Candace, so somebody has to bring out all the other weird stuff.
Right, and through that, I feel like we are gaining connections to people that people would probably never look at before.
Yeah.
This is why this is important. I just don't feel like people that do this kind of thing right here stop just because they got caught with it.
Yeah.
They don't stop that. I mean, they just go deeper and deeper underground with it. And why is it that it's law enforcement? This is hold on. This Sherfy Senior, he's, I'm going to speculate a little bit here. Okay, so he had to leave. He sent in his email to me why he got let go or had to leave Sullivan County, or not Sullivan County, Hawkins County, as a corrections officer there. He said because inmates were threatening him and coworkers. I don't know what's going on. The guy obviously, he speaks. He told all that information to that other creator
without having any idea who she was.
Didn't even know who she was. At first, I was like, this is scripted. I thought for sure because he didn't ask who she was. And then halfway through, he asked, who would you say your name was again?
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, it's
that
a lot.
Was weird.
So this is that story. I read a lot of it. It says a corrections officer at the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office who has been fired amidst an investigation in the exploitation of children. 16-year veteran. So this went on for 16 years.
Well, no, he had been in the...
Well, I mean, he had been... Yeah, years. And he's...
we don't know when it actually started that he...
Yeah, we don't know when it started that he started doing these things. But right here it says... So it has something to do... I think it goes into what happened with it right here. Let me find it.
Wait. What does that mean?
That's what the Wells was the prosecuting attorney. Attorney Greeley Wells. When I saw it when I was reading just now, I was like, what? Well, it's just, but
coincidence. But
coincidence.
Interesting.
Let's look at it. It's probably no connection, but maybe.
You never know.
I just saw it. Keep up with the chat because I can't see it over here. So, a memo in personal records state Chief Deputy Lisa Christian ordered an internal investigation. That's what I read just a minute ago. The investigation was founded and Haas is terminated for violating the agency's code of conduct. Sullivan County Sheriff's Office Public Information Officer Captain Keith Elton declined to comment further on the alleged incident, citing the continued investigation. Haas, a 45-year-old Kingsport resident, was hired in August of 1995. He served in corrections and accreditation until 2003, when he was promoted to records supervisor. He held that position along with the title of evidence control officer until 2007. Whoa, how many cases? Can you imagine how many cases could people question with him being evidence control?
Right.
You're controlling people's evidence in their cases? Whoa. And you're doing what you're doing on the side? Come on, bro. A memo from August of that year states that he immediately demoted back to corrections and issued a pay cut due to violating General Order 141.03-21. What is that order, though? I don't know. Police say that the offense and related internal investigation pertain to improperly maintaining evidence. Right there. So that should, a lot of their cases, be recalled or be brought back in front of a court. Staff writer Casey Breeding contributed to this report. So that's all that's said about him right there. Now, through further digging, I heard that there was, and I don't want to quote on this, but he was obviously really big into Boy Scouts and stuff like that. Trying to put those connections together. But this is stuff, if you haven't heard of this guy, this is why. Do you want one on email? Yeah, if you have a picture of him, if it's definitely him, yeah, please do. Cass. Long beard. Look, so I'll go over what I just said a minute ago. So Cave Hill Road is in Sullivan County, is what it said. That's in Blountville. Somebody said, who knows, said, Cam, please listen to JSB's live 16 hours ago. Kenny Rogers walked into a bar, something like that at 124. She's talking about other kids for sale on Ben Hill Road and a strange guy watching kids at the bus stop. You see, why? Like, if that's my question. If there is so much of this going on there, and she knows so much of this information,
Yeah, why?
hopefully she's in touch with the authorities about that, right? I hope and I pray so. This is important stuff, and I'm going to keep bringing it up because these are questions that need answered. Correct?
Yeah.
I feel that way. I feel very strongly about that, and I don't know. It's a lot. So thank you, Barbara McKinney. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Okay, let me make sure. What did she ask? Trying to keep up with y'all's questions here, guys, before it starts. And let me know when I'm getting close. The interview room has a live going on. I know that probably a lot of people are going to catch that. So I don't want to run into anybody else's time. Thank you, Miss Christine. Yes. Everybody knows everybody. Good old boys club. True. So why, like, it's calling out the former law enforcement are involved in this. Then we know that. So let's look at I want to bring this up. And, I have to be very careful. We live here. And, we take a risk every day by talking about what we talk about on here.
Oh, yeah.
By trying to bring truth out on these things. Because we care about our communities. And this stuff, if it's going back, when was it, 2010? Can you hand me that drink? If it's going back to 2010, I mean, this obviously has been an issue for a long time.
Right. And I mean, even within law enforcement.
That's my main thing.
That's what's scary.
If it's so hush-hush within, this didn't say a lot. This article was very small. And so who's 3 people that we know of whose names have been brought up in this disappearance of Summer? Frank Light has got the same charges of images. This guy got the same charges of images. Sherfy Jr. got the same charges of images. The dad, Senior, and Frank Light supposedly have ties of being very close friends. Best friends is the words that were brought to me. Best friends. Junior has seen this behavior somewhere else, right? To be, it's just all, it's the same. It's all the same. Yeah, exactly. Imagine what does not make the news.
Right. The people that don't get caught.
And I mean, maybe their local law enforcement, because I strongly believe if it didn't get as big as what it did, that this would have been brushed under the rug.
Oh, yeah.
I do. That's the way I feel. Do you?
Mm-hmm.
You feel that way too? So
100% I do.
If this wouldn't have been taken, nationwide, and this would have been brushed right up under the rug. Look how many cases we've seen through this that have been. So it's 6:50. We got 10 minutes. I got 10 minutes to talk to you a little bit. We might run a little bit over. I don't know if y'all. I'm just trying to be fair to other creators. So I'm still working on. Pay attention if you just came into what I said about I'm working on the alibi stuff. I have questions about that because then if this is a good old boy situation, who's to say that this alibi, and this is just I'm questioning. This is not proof. Who's to say that this alibi was not brought up and then, well, you're ex-law enforcement, it's okay, yeah, that's good to go. That's good enough for us. Just asking. Because I've heard through the tree cutters and all that, that pretty much when they were asked about what happened, it was pretty much, hey, did you see anything? No. Okay. About as far as it went. That's what I've heard. Now, do I know that to be factual? I don't. But that's what I heard. Allegedly. Allegedly. Thank you, Dazed and Confused. Allegedly. Oh, we want to be here, Cam. 100%. Thank you. Oh, thank you, guys. I appreciate that. If y'all didn't catch the other night's live, the last one I did before this one, where we broke down a lot of stuff on, prior cases, Carly Trent and stuff, I wanted to make sure that I got that right. So I did. I wanted to make sure that I quote everything correctly. Hey, yo, Bubs, that's true. But listen, I'm trying to be fair. I'm not going to say nothing. Anything against any other creators. We're not going to say it because I don't want. That's why we've gotten in this situation where we've gotten, is because we would have been so much farther with research and actually being able to focus on these cases if it wasn't for all the drama in between creators.
Yeah.
We were talking about that earlier with another creator. How far would we actually have went? And I feel like sometimes it's been disrupting on purpose, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. Is that your boy, Roy Boy? Is that the Shelby Sherfies is the last name? Yeah. So we're talking about we haven't been on here long. So if you have to go back and watch this from the beginning, please do. So I did some research on that on the Carly Trent case on Donnie Lawson's. It's Donnie Lawson's property out there. He owns that. I want to make sure. Brother of Sheriff Lawson. I want to correct that if I was wrong on that. But that's still, there's connections everywhere. I don't understand what it is yet. I don't know if there's something that runs deeper, if we'll ever know about it.
Yeah.
Things like this usually don't get, I guess, like corruption stuff doesn't really get taken seriously till an insider talks about it. Somebody who has been involved and has paperwork and proof. So we can question it all day and they can just say, oh, they're just conspiracy theorists. They're this. Are you, though? Are we conspiracy theorists because we question things that
don't make sense?
Yeah, because I've said it before. They try to spoon feed you, and they get away with it all the time. This is what was happening. You take it and go with it. That's what we're giving you. But I mean, there's tangible connections, and there's people coming out that are talking. I don't know. I'm paying attention. That's all I can say. Question: are the parents of the children that had photos taken of them contacted? As far as who? As
far as like kids with the photos that these people have on their computers. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I do know that. So, well, that wouldn't be the same thing. So, in the Carly Trent case, the person, the physician, the pediatric physician of Carly Trent, he put up all this money for Carly to be found. He was then later convicted of some SO offenses against children, and it was settled. He only pulled 6 months. Sentenced to 8 years, was only pulled 6 months.
That's sickening.
There was another question I had. If you didn't catch that either, there was all these nonprofits local to Hawkins County that were involved in Carly Trent's case. And she was found within a week, I think. I've not heard the names of those nonprofits in this case, not one time. I've not heard the names of anything. And that was a family member. That was her uncle, allegedly, that he did take I think they took an offer plea. Not 100% on that, but I got to look into that a little more. Because you're afraid if you start, digging on this person, you're going to miss something over here. So yeah. I'm trying to.
There's so much stuff that has to be looked into, and if you aren't careful, you'll find yourself down
Yeah.
down a rabbit hole real quick.
Somebody said, I think we can do without conspiracy theories. Well, it's not conspiracy theories. That's what I said. A lot of people get away with calling people conspiracy theorists when they put tangible things together. And when you put it together, now there is some outlandish things, yes.
Oh yeah.
But when you have two people that work for Sullivan County Sheriff's Office, so what years was that Sheriff Senior worked there? Where did he work at? In corrections. Where does David Haas work at? In corrections. Randy, correction. I said, where am I getting David from?
I don't know.
Is that I don't know. So I appreciate that, Kendra Bell. I do. And I like to talk some things out with you guys. You know, whatever. I've lost some things along. You know, I want to go on facts about every case. I want to, but then there's things that are happening. I don't know why law enforcement did come out and say that the things they said about them having attorneys and that. Now, if some people have argued that it was a tactic to get the family to talk. How far is Sullivan County from Rogersville? Okay. Rogersville is a whole lot farther than Kingsport, Beach Creek. So Sullivan County and Hawkins County. Kingsport is half of it is in Sullivan County, half of it's in Hawkins County. Beach Creek is not. There's part of Beach Creek community that is Sullivan County. That's how close.
And honestly,
on Beach Creek Road, right there at the beginning.
Honestly, where the Wells property is very close to the Sullivan County side.
There's a picture of the police out on Beach Creek Road where they're at the Sullivan County line on Beach Creek Road. So it's not 40 minutes away. You can be in Beach Creek or in Sullivan County on Beach Creek Road. You can be in Sullivan County or you can be in Hawkins. They are just over right past the Sullivan County line.
Yeah.
So people don't, I mean, that's the thing. That's what people, you know, that's why, yeah, I've said this from Kaz, thank you. Beach Creek community is, okay, you have 4 counties that intersect here. This might be more informative now. I've talked about this through the whole thing. But it might be more informative now. Hawkins County is, okay, not Hawkins County, but Beach Creek sits where 4 counties intersect. Washington, Greene, Sullivan, Hawkins. Okay, you have those 4 counties that you can be in each one in very, very short distance of time. News, can you tell us again? One arm and yeah, you can literally stand in one place and you can have an arm in Greene County, an arm in Washington County, an arm or a leg in Hawkins County, and a leg in Sullivan County. All these counties intersect right there. So you have different jurisdictions. That's when TBI comes in because they have the whole jurisdiction over Tennessee, right? You have Tennessee Highway Patrol. It's like state troopers. They have full jurisdiction.
Yeah.
That is him. That is him. Hey, Kaz, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Send that to the email.
It's
Send
a
that.
name.
Oh, look, I'm going to share this. Thank you, Kaz. That's good. This is that guy. Now I wish I could do a side-by-side comparison, but I can't right here. Maybe I can. Right? If I shrink the windows.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull this up real quick.
Well, I mean, but you can flip between the two.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we'll do. So yeah, they've got different jurisdictions there. You have, and I don't know if that, and if y'all caught a live that I talked about, um, man, what just happened? If you caught a live where I talked about, I talked to a Sullivan County Sheriff's Office. I said, does jurisdictions have play a part in this? Different jurisdictions? He said, oh yeah, because sometimes you have, if the case, if there happens to be on this side, you have too much fighting between jurisdictions. There's people, well, this is my jurisdiction, we'll check on it, and I don't know if you, unless you have all the different jurisdictions working together, I don't know, but so what is she showing here? What is this?
That's just where she found it.
Okay, what is? Oh, okay. Is that showing
The
his
SO registry thing?
Okay. Let me share this and show you what this fellow looks like now. Right here. All right, here you go. So we have the old Mr. Clean Cut, and then we have. Let me zoom right here for you. Yeah, that's him. So I don't know. It's not going to switch with me sharing like this, right? So I'd have to do it. Here, I got it like this. I'll do it like this. Hold on a second. I'll be able to show you all of it at the same time, and we'll click between them. All right, so we got this, and then okay, so this is him, clean cut, working for the sheriff's department. Now, what's the chat saying? Okay, and that's the address now. Hold on. Thank you, Kaz. That was good. This is information people need to know about this fella. If you live in this area, there's so many of them.
Yeah.
So many of them. And I didn't realize how many there was till. Why is it not showing?
It was.
It was because I went back. My bad. Okay. Yeah, that was my fault. Okay. A property directly across the street from the wells were for sale when real estate was booming, so strangers would be coming in and out. Well, that's the property right across the street from the wells was bought by somebody who was brought into question by the neighbor, and that was Jackie Dobbs. Mm-hmm. He still owns that property across the road. What is this? Oh, let me call for quick. My bad, guys. Sorry, I had to use my inhaler. That is Randy Haas. And guys, if you haven't caught, I can't. Maybe people in the chat can catch you up. So, hey, yo, Bubs, I got your email, and I will try to holler back at you because I do need to talk to you about some stuff. And thank you, Miss Christine. That's so what she was saying. I want to make sure that I caught everything in that. Will be coming in and out of that street in large number, and that's what was said. Very good point, and very good point. there was people in and out from everywhere. What? Yeah, for smoking and using an inhaler. Got a cigarette in one hand and an inhaler in the other.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Let's switch to vaping.
Well, we got to. Sorry, hold on. Make sure I catch up with everybody. Oh, okay. Did you sent some more on him? Let me see. I want to show everything that you got on him. So what's this? That's just his registry. I don't see any charges on him. Oh, that's his been verified report. Look, what we'll do is we'll put together something that maybe that's a good idea for us to do, right? Is to put together a report on these people and maybe have something of a reference to all of it. And because, how, people are going to attack and say, you're going after an innocent man, you're going after this. Well, now are these people so innocent when you see what we're talking about? They put themselves in a position to be in question of these things.
And just because we talk about somebody
doesn't mean we're pointing.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that we are accusing them. We are just bringing them to everybody's attention, saying, hey, some stuff that they've done is questionable.
And there's links to them.
Yeah.
All around. There's links to these people there. And with the charges that they have, and it being a minor that has gone missing, that's the sad thing about this whole situation is that this little girl, Summer Moon Utah Wells, was surrounded by this kind of everything. Yeah. Everything in this case. I'm not leaving out anybody. I'm saying everything. Everything. That has to do from home to everywhere. I'm not saying she had the most perfect everything. I'm never once have we said that. Oh, thank you, Chris Matheson. Yeah, we are. That's another reason why we haven't been on here. We both have chilled out.
Yeah.
And I was kind of happy that we were having internet issues. I needed a break for a couple of days. And we're gonna keep doing it. Okay. Might answer a few more and then we'll let it go. But I just felt like I wanted to come and tell you guys what was up. I did feel very confident about that information from that researcher, and they did a good job. I'm not saying that. But there is some other questions that I want to answer before I bring it out as a full, really, something I stand behind. We have to I got to make sure at least that. I feel the same way. Right here. This is true. The more rumors get started, the less to say.
Exactly.
If there's nothing there on certain people, they should say that.
How can they be so mad about social media and all of the rumors that have been started if they're not giving any information out?
Just prove them. Say that's not true.
Right.
That's not true. That's not true. That'll stop them there. If
you give us facts, and I'm not talking about YouTubers, I'm talking about the public in general.
Public.
If you give the public facts about what happened and what's going on and kind of which direction. I know that they don't want to tip off anybody, but still give us some facts about what's happening, and then people aren't going to speculate so much.
Well, that part that I felt like was so important about Sheriff Lawson's last thing, their interview that he did, and I cannot find it now, but you all heard me the other night when I brought this up. He said we are no closer to finding out what happened to Summer than we were when she first went missing. She said that, and I can't find that. Or he said that, and I can't find it. And people said it was edited out. I don't know that. I can't say that, but well, you heard it too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
That was, what is this? Case break. Oh, what, did you hear this? Cass said I found out that ex-law enforcement, if they are on an SA list, are put with middle name if they don't have it, or with wrong one, or with spelling mistake. Wow. There was a state trooper that just got convicted in our area out of I think it was Wise County. It's Virginia State Trooper, and his charges were he only got 4 months, and his case went back years and years. He had got it continued so many times that what does that mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just they're not being held to a higher standard, correct? That's what I feel. They're getting slapped on the wrist for the things that are completely worse than anything else against children. And it's the same thing. As a state trooper, he was convicted again. There was for crimes against a minor, 4 months. A doctor, a pediatrician, 6 months. Out of an 8-year sentence, the man spent 6 months, and it said we didn't feel like putting the minors up on the stand because we didn't want them to go through any more than what they had. I mean, come on, man. There's things that have to be happening. If anything, you know. Okay, yeah, right here. He said yes, saying that the Wells have lawyered up was a lie. Why say it? I don't know, because I played that, and I want anybody that has question. If you have watch the other night, to the last one I did before this, I played what he said directly, and he says because the news reporter asked, did anything that Don Wells say bring you out to do this search today? Absolutely not. We haven't even talked to Don Wells about the case, is what he said. That's big.
Yeah.
Listen to what he's saying. That's big. So it'd be different now. I feel like if Don had gotten a lawyer, he would have said no. He is now an attorney has spoke to us, and he didn't say that. He said now they said as the mom and the grandma and all those people is what the reporter asked him. Has the mom and the grandma and all those people been cooperative? No, not cooperative at this time, or something. He said right now, not cooperating right now. They've hired lawyers. That's when he said that. And then directly following, Candace and Grandma. Well, Candace didn't come on camera, but she wrote that, and Grandma said no.
We can't speak for Dawn, but
she said I can't speak for Donnie, but I know Candace hasn't gone because she told me,
right?
And I haven't. There's a lot in there. People look. I don't know. You want to give your opinion on that, because you haven't got to speak about that? Give your opinion on what you thought of that interview.
What with Grandma?
Of all of it, yeah, everything that happened right there, because you might have a different outlook than I have.
I just think him coming out and saying that was big, and I want to know what they have not cooperated, how they are not cooperating, because from an outsider's point of view, it looks like they have been fully cooperative, and from the beginning they've stated that they've been cooperative, and by they I mean law enforcement, because they've never had to get a search warrant. They've been able to come and go and question them whenever they please.
Well, we were told that they were even this was just a week before this came out, maybe a few days, that they were even still cooperative. Law enforcement had full access to that property. And we were told that by somebody very close to that case, that that property is open for them to come in and out of as they please, talk to them. Grandma says that they haven't talked to law enforcement since December. That wasn't even for that. That's what she was talking about. She was talking about the trespassing issues that happened. And that was December 10th. Now, she says the 13th, but unless she had talked to them privately
after
the fact,
which is possible. We don't know.
Yeah.
But the day that law enforcement was there and spoke with them was December 10th.
This is exactly what I said the other night. If Candace had a lawyer, if any of them had a lawyer, do you think it would be the worst attorney on the face of this earth that would allow them to be on social media, on this? Now, they could have, but an attorney would say, if this ever goes to trial, I cannot effectively represent you if you're going to be doing this. That's what any attorney would say that. Now, and then, you got to take into account too, that to hire an attorney before anything, any charges are filed, before anything like that, to hire an attorney just to sit there and represent you during an investigation or whatever is going on. Do you know how much money that costs? Now, yes.
Now, there are attorneys that will take cases like
pro
bono. But it would have made more sense early on if they had gotten an attorney. Once they started getting the accusations and were painted in such a bad light from the very beginning. Now, if they had gotten an attorney then, I mean, people would have had a problem with it one way or another. Like I said that night whenever we were talking about that interview and about Sheriff Lawson saying that, people were mad in the beginning saying, well, if I don't remember exactly how I said it, but if they had gotten an attorney back then, people would have said, oh, well, why do you have an attorney if you didn't do anything? But there was people, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense for them to gotten an attorney now when there's no evidence that's pointing to them being charged with it at this point.
I feel like that from Don being in trouble before in his lifetime, from Don having a record and being gone and have gone through the court system, that if there would have been, if he was very worried, that an attorney would have been first thing on their list. I think it speaks a lot
that they didn't.
But am I saying that there's no, that I'm not? I don't know. I'm not saying that there's 100% no involvement by them. Right. I'm not saying that there's 100. I'm not saying that at all because we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know anything. But you can tell by people's, I don't know, from somebody who you've been on the outside looking through, me going through the court system and stuff. You see things from when you've gone through that you question. You're like, well, why didn't they? If there was something there, they would have done this, or they would have done that.
Well, a lot of parents, even if there wasn't anything there, they would have gotten an attorney early on.
Now, yes, before this gets mixed up, yes, they have an attorney for the boys.
For the boys.
That's a whole different thing.
That has nothing to do with Summer or this case at all.
And that lawyer can't jump over and help you over here.
No, they are hired for one thing and one thing only.
What would an attorney tell them if they asked them, well, can you help me with this? They'd say for this amount of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Because attorneys are all about that money. I promise you they are. Oh, now, there's a bunch. There might be some good-hearted, caring ones out there.
And there are.
There are, yeah.
But they're still going to get their money at the end of the day.
No, they are. They go to law school and
their expertise has a price tag on it. We'll say that.
Who's RL? Huh?
Lawson?
Yes, I agree. And I've heard that there might be something in happening in there. I do.
But we don't know.
I don't know for a fact, but I've heard that. Oh. You know about that with the red truck? That's another one. That's another one right there with law enforcement. Officer for Kingsport Police, his truck, you know that picture I showed? with the truck and ladder racks and everything in it, sitting in Kingsport Police Department parking lot. They got pushed under the rug too. That's another thing. We talked about that. I don't know. That was really, that disappeared real fast. Neva, that was good. Is that what you're? I know that's what you're referring to, right? That's his last name. Hold on, I'll pull that up. That's good. I'm glad you brought that up. They'd have to sell that house to end property, or at least some of their property, to afford an attorney. That's for sure. I believe that. Hey, look. Yeah, this is true. Lucas Cottle, that's true too. And there's somebody that has been talked about that has worked for law enforcement before this. Let's talk about it. It's true. That's true too. I mean, they were real cool. I just don't see how you can rule out an abduction if that little girl walked. If, like they said, if Summer walked off that property, like they said, the very real possibility that she walked away. That's their words, not mine. If that's, how can you effectively say that little girl did not go down the road and somebody pick her up in a vehicle that way, walking down the main road? How can you effectively say that? How can you effectively say that 3 people in a household didn't hear a scream? I've wondered that too. They said that's what they heard. They said it was animalistic. There was things, even though the way that it was described to me when it was brought up, I was like, what? But I'm not even going into that. Yeah. But see, yeah, I mean, but how can you effectively tell a mother and both her children they didn't hear what they hear?
Her children that are not little children.
They're adults. One of them is an adult. Yes, that's another thing. And I do know that they had reached out and that people that are involved in investigating this case too, with the family, reach out and talk to law enforcement. And that's true. Candace did say that law enforcement had not reached out for a couple of months. So, and I guess, I don't know if those people were spokesperson for but there is people that are having dialogue between law enforcement. So, Louisiana Girl says, true. That's what we're trying. It's the exact point I'm trying to bring up. And Dawn would know about attorneys.
Oh yeah.
Dawn knows firsthand how attorneys work and all that. So, I don't know. I'm trying to make sure. Did I get everybody's? I think so. I'm trying to answer all these. I never heard Candace speak of the case, just Summer and the boys in general. Well, Candace thinks it's one thing she doesn't talk about it. I can't answer as to why that is. We've tried. That's just doesn't. That's what people don't understand. Do you think just because we went up there and filmed property that she talked to us about it? No, she does the same thing with us that she does everybody else.
Right.
She doesn't want to talk about it. Please read that one. Well, people even had the argument too about that her maybe not cooperating because of being on YouTube and all that. I was like, I'm sure that the police didn't tell her not to go on, that they would probably encourage that without an attorney, right? They would encourage her to just keep talking and Dawn to keep talking. That's what they would want in an investigation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's called facts how they are. I mean, it's just like arguments that I hear that they said, well, they're just sitting back and they're waiting when, like in reference to, like, say somebody had a child Why haven't they busted them yet? Well, they're just sitting back waiting. They ain't gonna do it. They know that child's there, and they're not gonna sit and let that child continue to be in harm's way. Hand me the charger. They're about to die, like right now.
Where is it?
To the computer.
Yeah, no.
It's the one with the block on it.
Knew what it is. So where is it?
Is it plugged? Plug it into the extension cord there.
Is that it? Is it connected?
You better hurry.
I'm trying.
Okay, here's another article. Thank you for sending that. His appeal will astound you. Okay, we'll cover this and we'll let it go. Been on here for a while. Thank you. You know who you are, who just sent me that email. I don't know if you want your name out there or not, so I figure I'm not going to put you out there, but we will. So I'm going to bring this up real quick. This goes more on Randy Haas's appeal and everything. Thank you so much.
Did you?
This is why what? No, don't. Here, let me go back and right here. This one.
I know. Okay.
That one?
No.
No, I never saw it. There it is.
There.
And thank you so much. I'm sorry I don't want to leave you out. Thank you so much. And she had another one right here too I wanted to answer about the dogs. Were the dogs there that day? Okay, so it's been told no. But those dogs are there some days they're not.
And that's 100% God's honest truth. We know that ourselves.
We'll go and tell them how they are. And
so those dogs, they run everywhere. They run loose everywhere. The very first time that we went up there was one mama dog and puppies, and the puppies were very little at this point. And that was the only dogs that were up there. They did not bark at us. They did not.
Yeah, sorry I didn't see. Sorry I did not see your comment. If I'm clicking between screens, I can't see you. You can still see me, but right. I can't see your comments. And we've went over this was a lot at the beginning. We went over this. Those dogs,
they come and go as they please.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. And with all the activity with the police cars and the tree cutters there earlier that day, dogs tend to literally go away from sound, loud sound. I don't know.
Now, were they there that day?
I don't know.
We have no idea.
I wasn't there. But it's been reported that they were not.
Yeah. We can only speak from what we have saw the days that we have been up there. Some days the dogs are all up there. Some days they are not. There's not a single dog there.
Sometimes they bark. Sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they bark. Sometimes they don't. We've been told from neighbors that
they won't let me go to that.
We've been told from neighbors that sometimes all the dogs are on their property, drinking from their pond. Well, I mean, we don't know.
That won't let me go to that. How come? Why is that?
Let me see if it will on my phone.
If you can pull it up. Oh, yeah, it was Boy Scouts. I read just in the link to it right there.
Oh, well, let me either.
It won't let you open it either? It won't let us. Okay, so just go to Knox. Here, I'll do it right here. I'll go to knoxnews.com. I'll find it. So it's Knoxville News. What? Here, I'll go over to it and I'll answer it. What is it? What did they say? Hey, believe it or not, I just went through my block list last night and I just unblocked your thing because I've noticed this, and there was people. Yo Bubs was on there on the block list.
We don't know why.
Jamie Howard was on there. People that we know are supporters of the channel. They're showing up on our block list, And I'm
People that
sorry.
we would never block.
People that I would never block, and I don't understand that. So I'm trying to get to the bottom. If I think somebody might be on the mod list or something that's blocking people, and I'm gonna keep a close eye on that. But so I just want to say I've come to a couple times asking legitimate questions and been shut out of chat. I support you both, and know. Hey, look, I'm sorry that's happened to you, and you will never be shut out of here by us. And I promise you, it's not been by us. You can ask any question you want. And we appreciate it even if you don't agree with us.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's the way
differences of opinion are perfectly fine. It's good for people to have different opinions so that we can talk. As long as everybody is respectful, it makes you think about other things.
It does. Well, thank you for that, and thank you for letting us know that. We're going through and trying to fix that. I feel like Jamie Howard I haven't seen her in a while, and I feel like she maybe felt like she was ignored because of that. There was a bunch of people. Yeah, listen, if you have legitimate questions, just do what this is the thing that we've been telling people to do. Tag us at the @ at Cracking Cases, and I'll be able to see it better.
Yeah.
You'll have to tell me about them because I can't see from where I'm at on my page.
I'm always looking at this because I don't like to be always with my face in my phone.
I know.
Like this one.
What's it say, G?
Do you know the name Wayne Sharfie? In Kingsport, charges are
aggravated.
Do we know this man or is he known to us?
No, but thank you for bringing that to our attention. If that would be something to look into, because that last name is that's what made me find Junior. And I said that name, there's no way that name is not connected. Let's see, Knox News.
And yes, we did follow Gabby Petito. Is there a trail from Fire Tower Road to Fields Road?
No. Okay, so it ends on Chimney Top Mountain. Like, it stops halfway and then there's a gap. We showed that. If you go back on where they went out for the third search out there, do you remember when we were on the side of that mountain and they were like, yeah, there is kind of a connection to it, which was strange to me. Let's see here.
Sassmare said, sorry, I've been having medical and financial issues.
Oh.
Trying to be on more often.
Hey, I didn't know where you had been, and look, we just talked about her. I didn't give her a wrench back. I didn't know if she'd left or... I'm just trying to clear out and see where these people, there's someone blocking somebody. What? I can't see it. What?
Gave it back.
Oh, you did it? Okay. You got it. Okay, cool. I can't find that link that she sent. I'm trying to find it so we can show what happened in his appeals. In the court, there it is. Here it is. Found it. Hold on. Let me share this real quick. This might be good right here. Guys, I'm going to be on another screen, so I can't see it. So I'm going to show you this. And then I'm going to hop off here after this. Just wanted to do something to... There it is. Here we go. All right. State of Tennessee versus Randy Carl Haas. Appeal from Circuit Court of Sullivan County. As part of a plea agreement, the appellant Randy Carl Haas pled guilty to several counts of facilitation of exploitation of a minor and official misconduct. The parties agreed to a sentence of 20 years, with 15 of those years be served under supervised probation. The appellant applied for probation and alternative sentencing for the remainder of his sentence. The trial court denied the application, ruling, and the remaining 5 years of his sentence. Hold on, it says the appellant applied for probation alternative sentencing for the remainder of his sentence. The trial court denied the application, ruling that the remainder of 5 years of the sentence would be served in confinement. On appeal, the appellant contends that the trial court committed an abuse of discretion in denying probation or alternative sentencing, and that this decision is not entitled to the presumption of reasonableness. The state disagrees. Upon review, we conclude that the trial did not abuse its discretion by denying alternative sentencing or extending probation and ordering the appellant to serve 5 years of the sentence in confinement. We therefore affirm the judgment of the trial court. Okay, so did he have to do 5 years? Let's see. On November 15th, 2011, Sullivan County grand jury filed 42-count presentment against the appellant Randy Carl Haas on 25 counts of exploitation of a minor and 10 counts of official misconduct. In exchange for, on October 29th, 2013, in exchange for dismissal of the 5 counts of especially aggravated exploitation of a minor, the appellant pled guilty to 1 count of facilitation of exploitation of a minor, more than 50 images, 26 counts of facilitation of exploitation of a minor, fewer than 50 images, and all 10 counts of official misconduct. The parties agreed to an effective sentence of 20 years, with 15 of those years be served under supervised probation. The agreement provided that the trial would determine how the remaining 5 years of the sentence would be served. The appellant applied for probation alternative sentencing on this 5-year sentence. During the guilty plea colloquy, the state described the facts supporting the charges as follows. In April of 2011, Sullivan County Sheriff's Office received complaints from parents of several teenage boys participating in the department's Explorer program. The complaints alleged that the appellant had taken photos of the boys and possibly engaged in inappropriate contact with them. At the time, the appellant was a corrections sergeant for the sheriff's office and served as an advisor for the Explorer program. After speaking with the boys, detectives from the sheriff's office interviewed the appellant. He admitted to having child pornography on his personal laptop and voluntarily gave the computer to the detectives. Detectives later found more than 100 images on the laptop. In addition to those pictures, detectives also found photographs of members of the Explorer program posed to mirror some of the images on the laptop. Though the explorers were clothed, detectives found duplicates of these images on the appellant's cell phone. The photographs of the explorers had been made during an overnight trip, and the boys took under the appellant's supervision to participate in a reenactment of Civil War battle. Oh my gosh. See? So why is he sitting in a driveway using Wi-Fi? Is that because they watch his
Probably.
They watch his connection, probably.
But why theirs of all people's? That's what was really weird.
Yeah,
to me.
why theirs? That's why there? Why in that driveway out there when there's Wi-Fi all around Kingsport?
Right.
Trial.
Wouldn't you have thought that you would have went to like McDonald's or something?
Yeah.
Not. I don't know.
There's been a lot. I don't know. Okay, that he was unable to. Okay, the trial court accepted the appellant's guilty plea At the sentence hearing on November 14, 2013, the appellant testified that he had been unable to find work since his arrest. He stated that since his arrest, he had spent most of his time caring for his wife of 25 years, who has health issues. He said he had 2 adult children, a son and a daughter. His son is mentally challenged, though the appellant said the son is self-supporting. What? So wow. The appellant testified he has a master's degree and that he had been employed for his entire adult life until his termination from the sheriff's office. He stated that he had served in the Army from 1983 to 1987, also who served in the military. Sheriff Sr., that was his big thing, and received an honorable discharge. The appellant testified that during his 16 years at the sheriff's office, he was reprimanded twice. Once for allowing inmates to remove the top part of their jumpsuits. Wow. And once for improperly handling evidence. The appellant asserted that he understood the charges against him and said his actions had been a huge mistake. He admitted remorse for his behavior and said he was sorry for everyone he had hurt.
Word again. Mistake.
His mistake. There, yeah, good point. Good catch. There's that word. It's a mistake. It's a lot bigger than a mistake.
At least he said it was a huge mistake.
Yeah, he says huge instead of just like, it's just a little.
Just a mistake.
And Sheriff Jr. has way more images than this guy had.
This was a ginormous mistake, I guess.
Over 10 counts of over 100 is a lot. He admitted remorse for his behavior and said sorry for everyone he had hurt. He stated that he had committed his crimes due to curiosity. Did you hear that?
What?
He stated that he had committed his crimes due to curiosity.
Curiosity.
Look, the link for this it's on Google. All you have to do is search Knox News Randy Haas convicted SO is what I put. I'll put the link in the chat in the description so that you can have this. If you read in the chat, is this what are they saying?
Honorable discharge for what?
Yeah, so who knows? The appellant testified that he was attending weekly group therapy. There's the therapy thing again. Meetings as required under his probation. He stated that the therapy was beneficial at times, but at times the meetings addressed issues that don't apply to him. He expected to be in his therapy group for at least 2 years. He testified that he had not been able to afford any other professional counseling. The appellant stated that he and his wife had no income other than his wife's Social Security disability payments. When asked if he would likely reoffend, the appellant testified that he had not even tried to, not even thought about it. He said he felt he would be able to refrain from reoffending and to follow the terms of his probation. He stated that his counselor told him that he had done well on the psychological test he had taken and that the counselor saw no signs of any danger to reoffending. The appellant testified that he no longer attended church for fear that his presence would discourage others from attending. He said he was no longer involved with any group where he might encounter young children.
That's good.
He testified he spent time reading, writing, and tending his trees and flowers. The appellant asserted that he stayed at home unless he was attending counseling, going to the grocery store, or taking his wife to doctor's appointments. The appellant testified that although he had at one point not felt he needed counseling, he had since changed his mind and felt counseling was helping him. He said he understood the charges against him of facilitation of exploitation of a minor. He testified that he had never had an S contact with children, but admitted that he had viewed and possessed S explicit photographs of children prior to his arrest. Sick. Our cross-examination, the appellant said that there were photos of on his phone of some of the boys from the Explorer program. This is a big thing. So this is a program through the sheriff's office.
Where you would assume your children would be safe.
Where you would think they would definitely be safe. This is the problem. He agreed that one of the photos showed a boy with...
No, you...
Oh, sorry. Though he denied taking them himself and stated that he had just never erased them. He agreed that one of the photos showed a boy with bare buttocks changing clothes after swimming in a creek. The others showed boys with... Wow. I'm not... Simulated...
What?
And lash marks on their bodies. He agreed that some of the found on his laptop depicted boys in... Though he had stated previously... Look, this is the same kind of material that another one had. The same. That is the website and not viewing of the photos that made them a victim. Let's see. What did he say here at the end of this? Though he had stated previously that it was the website and not his viewing of the photos that made them a victim. The appellant testified that his downloading and viewing the images had victimized the boys in the website photos. The appellant testified that he understood that the terms of his probation required him to report any contacts with children to his probation officer. He also agreed that he had recently been in the hospital waiting room with children and had failed to report this. He stated that he had not spoken to the children and had tried to avoid them. He said that he had not understood that he was required to report such minimal contact with children. Yes, you are, sir. The appellant testified that although he had earlier stated that he had believed the images he had downloaded had been of men over the age of 18, he now acknowledged that the boys in the picture may have been younger. In making sentencing decision, the trial court considered the appellant's testimony, the precedence report, the confidential offender risk assessment, testimonial correspondence from the appellant's supporters, victim photographs, portions of the transcripts of the sentencing hearing, the sentencing memorandum, and defendants. Okay, this is showing everything they went over to go to do his analysis. The appellant argues that the trial denial of probation alternative is denying probation or alternative sentencing, and by doing so committed an abuse discretion entitled. The state contends, however, that the appellant fails to overcome the presumption that the sentence is reasonable and to demonstrate that the trial court abused its discretion. I'm going to see what happened. Bears the burden of showing his sentence is improper. In a sentence, the appellant court must conduct a de novo review of the record of the issues following the bias. The standards of appellant's review is abuse of discretion, granting the trial court's decision to presumption of reasonableness. Let's see. Then there's all this, the evidence they reviewed. Okay. If y'all want to read that, I don't know how they made him do that sentence, or if they did make him pull that 5 years. A court may deny probation to avoid depreciating the seriousness of the offense, or to provide effective deterrence to others. So at least they might have took that into consideration, that, hey, we're not going to play with that. Even if the defendant is entitled to statutory presumption of alternative sentencing, he has the burden of proving he or she be granted full probation. Can you see? I don't know. What are you reading?
I was looking at the chat.
Okay.
That was making me sick.
It was me too. It made my stomach hurt. The court also considered the counts that the states mitigated as part of the plea agreement. I can't see. And that he has been married for 25 years and has raised 2 children. Okay, here it is. Neither caused nor threatened serious bodily injury, though because the circumstances under which the images was made not to be known, and it was possible that the boys involved were harmed. The court gave this factor little weight. The court noted that the appellant seemed to show remorse. He had a good work history. He was following the requirements of his probation. He cooperated with law enforcement in their investigations. He was honorably discharged from the military service, and that he had been married for 25 years and raised 2 children. So, I'm trying to read over this to see what they did to him. Boys involved. That part right there is talking about how he was given trust to take care of these kids. I'm going to have to read over that, but I mean, we got the gist of it right here. I mean, that's what happened. Now I don't know what his sentence carried out or how that was handled, but that's a lot. I mean, but just too much. There was somebody else that, that one very disturbing part of that we just read of his appeals or what happened in his case. It's all disturbing, but that one part especially.
Yeah.
There's somebody else whose name's been brought up in this case that has the exact same kind of crazy images charges. So yeah, it's crazy. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining in. I'm going to get off here. I went over enough time already. Let's see. Hey, Cryptidville, how you doing, man? Hey, everyone. That doesn't mean he's not a scumbag. What are they saying? Tell me.
I didn't see anything.
Exactly. I mean, I think that there needs to be Look, there's a reason why I feel so strongly, and this is before this case even got to where it is right now. When we first went to Kingsport, what was the messages we were getting then? I'm going to talk about this before we get off here. We got threatening messages that said, be careful, or one of yours doesn't be the next one goes missing. Why do you think that they said, what did they say? Why do you think FBI and TBI left out of here so fast? Is what they said. And they said, we all know what's happening around here. Don't be the next to find out. That's what was sent to us multiple times by multiple different local people.
Yeah.
And we knew they were local by the way they were talking to us and the way that they said things. I have to go back and find those emails. Actually, there were comments. Mm-hmm. They were comments on videos. I'll have to go back and look. There obviously is people that feel like there is something huge going on, and they've known about it, and they don't want to talk about it. Okay, thank you. Oh, okay, yeah. She said, under conclusion, the sentence stood at 5 incarcerated and the rest on probation. He was trying to get out of serving the 5 years. That's what I thought. I didn't know if he got lucky and but in Tennessee, you only pull 35% of your first felony. So What's 35% of 5 years? Maybe did a year and a half. maybe. So I don't know. Yeah, thank you guys. We're trying to be. Yeah, and everything that that's been turned over, or yeah, everything that's happened with us personally, or anything to do with this case has been turned over. And there's records of TBI and all that they have. We just never got called back by any of them through anything. And these were things that they told us you'll have an investigator call you back, and we never got any callbacks. But that's okay. We'll keep trying. I mean, I feel like if there is something there, that I mean, you can see it. You can see it right here. All the connections in that community with certain people. It's weird. Stitching and True Crime says cracking case. Did y'all get my email? When did you send it? Because we haven't checked them in 2 days. I hadn't had internet.
Except for what we've done on here.
Yeah, and I bought a Wi-Fi extender, so it should be coming through a lot better.
Yes, we got it.
Mama Bear 64 said Candace recently said she had lawyered up. Okay, now that was on another person's channel that she said that her lawyer had taken. I know what you're talking about. It was on that something about the Predator Hunter Nation, something. She was on that channel. I don't know what in reference of what she was talking about with that lawyer. That's a good point, though, and we have to look into that. No, thank you, Breeze. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys, and I hope that, yes, look right here. They said we are witnesses to anything, if anything happens to your family. It's true. That's why to be on a public, I mean, it doesn't necessarily protect you 100%, but as long as if you talk about it on here, you have a recorded record, right, and people that have seen it. And it's very good that, if you ever have any information that you're scared about, talk about it, because that will deter some people from coming after you in secret. Always, have an account of where you're at, what you're doing. Yeah, I will check for. Oh, she just said she just sent it just a bit ago.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, you got it. What she said? Oh,
on
yes.
the property.
Yes, they have.
Yes.
I just read your email. Yes, they have been looked into. And Bubs, I have to. I'll call you from that one number that you had was this a number that recycles its number after so long if you don't use it. Okay, I appreciate it, guys. Let's pray and hop off here, because that's what we're going to do, regardless what other people think and hate on us. We're going to pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for blessing us in our lives. Thank you for bringing us, attention to the things that are happening secretly in our communities. Lord, we rebuke things against our children when people put their kids in safe situations, so they think of programs with law enforcement and things like that. Or we ask that, people that are that have integrity and are, those kind of people are put in those positions, not people like this that we've read about. Lord, protect our children, protect our babies, and Lord, let us do due diligence to look into things before we just put our kids in them. God, we ask that these things come to light, that all these dark situations come to light, and Lord, that there will be some answers to Summer's case. Lord, we just ask that we always do our due diligence and look into everything before we speak on it, and just make sure that we can, that we stand behind as creators, stand behind the things that we talk about. Lord, I ask that you put your loving arms around Summer Moon, Utah Wells, and other missing children in our nation and our world. We ask that you put law enforcement in the right place at the right time to stop these things, and there be preventative acts to stop these things before they could ever happen. Lord, we just ask that everybody be held accountable, even people in positions of power, if that be the situation. Lord, we ask that you bless anybody in this chat or that's watching this channel right now that might have a prayer request or might be dealing with something that they don't know how to handle it. That we ask that you just bless them and that you bring answers to their situation. But God, let people know that it's in your time, not our time. Sometimes we get impatient thinking that we are in control over everything when it's you. And God, your time is always perfect. We pray all these things in your mighty name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, guys. That's it for us. Remember, at the end of the day, everybody wants justice.
But justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate.
We'll catch you next time.
See ya.